Hello, beautiful friends. This is the Organizer Advisor here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. Welcome to this video. In today's video, I am going to share with you my best tips, tricks, strategies, and suggestions on how to create a functional and effective filing system. So grab your hydration beverage, let's have a sip and a sit, and we're going to start to file those piles. So why is it important to have an effective filing system? Well, your home really has a business component to it. There are just documents involved in running a home. There are monthly bills, there are maintenance records, there are health and well-being records, there are instruction manuals and booklets. There's just a plethora of paperwork involved in managing your home and managing your life. But it's really important that we keep these organized, because when we can't find a document when we need it, it creates stress and frustration. So today, we're going to gain control of all of those piles that have accumulated on top of the refrigerator, the dining room table, the bedroom dresser, and the kitchen countertops. We're reclaiming that space, and we're going to create order from chaos. We're going to begin by gathering all of the items that we need to create an effective filing system, and then we're going to gather all of the documents that we need to file. Now, there are some documents that we will not be addressing today, and I will highlight those because I have a total framework for organizing all of the documents in your home. Not everything goes in our filing folder system. I call my filing folder system my monthlies and my maintenance. So that's generally the type of paperwork that we're going to house in our file folder system. Other specific types of paperwork will be housed in different components of this overall filing framework because they're specialty items and they have specialty filing mechanisms. All right, so what are the benefits of having a cohesive, effective, and functional filing system? Number one, you're going to be able to find what you need when you need it. No more running around, rummaging through piles, getting frustrated, getting angry, and possibly affecting your relationships in your home because you can't find something, because it creates a lot of stress. Another benefit is it's going to reduce clutter. And you know how I feel about clutter, the 3 C's. Clutter creates chaos, chaos creates cortisol, which has negative health impacts. So having an effective filing system actually affects our well-being. Another benefit is it helps facilitate us paying our bills on time, which is going to improve our credit, which is going to improve our financial well-being. It does facilitate effective record keeping, like if you own a home business, or for tax time. It helps in creating a budget because you have all of your monthly expenses. So you can create a budget that is accurate, and that is going to help manage your money. And then again, less frustration, less stress, less cortisol. Let's go ahead and start by gathering the items that we're going to need in order to create this effective filing folder system. You're going to need something to store your files in. Now, it can be a box, it can be a basket, it can be a bin, or you can use a filing cabinet. Whatever works best for the amount of paperwork that you're going to need to house in your filing folder system. Also suggest getting some file folders. Now, I want to speak briefly about file folders. So when you're purchasing file folders, there's a scale on quality. So you can actually invest quite a bit of money in file folders. Some of the more expensive ones are extremely durable. So if you handle your documents a lot, you may want to go ahead and invest in some durable file folders. These are extremely thick. They're very stiff and sturdy. They usually are very decorative, and they have those nice fancy labels. But the durability needs depends on how much you think that you'll be handling your documents. Now, you can actually get a little lesser quality, and they're a little less sturdy, a little less thick, but they are very functional and they can meet your file folder needs quite well. You can get some really pretty file folders. This is really going to make filing your papers very uplifting. And then if you're on a budget, you can use plain manila file folders or Dollar Tree file folders. It does not matter. In fact, these Dollar Tree file folders coordinate very nicely with my more high-end file folders, the more decorative ones. So just meet your needs and your budget requirements. You can always start with manila folders And then once you gain a little bit more financial well-being, you can always upgrade. Same thing with your filing, your file box. You can start off with a bin, and then eventually, if you'd like, you can upgrade. So please be mindful of your budgetary needs. Don't stretch your budget for this. All right, the next thing that we're going to need is some sort of file folder labels. Now you can write on the file folders if you would like to, but if you feel like you might want to change those labels, you can get file folder labels, or you can actually use address labels if you already have those. Now, for some people, this is stressful, trying to align these things in their computer and print them all out. For people that are not digital natives, that can be really stressful, so feel free just to write on your file folders. Whatever functions best, tailor this framework to what works for you. You're also going to need a stapler. I do not use paper clips in files. I'll explain later. Staplers work best for me. I also suggest a highlighter and some Post-it tabs. This is to highlight important information to make it easier to find so that you're not looking through multiple documents trying to find a phone number, a point of contact, an address, or important information. I like to use a permanent marker for writing on my file folders because a lot of file folders have a laminate coating, and a regular marker is going to just smear, so a permanent marker works best. You can also have a regular writing pen. And then last but not least, at the end of our session, I just am going to suggest, and this is just me because you know me, I like my file folders to smell good. So when I go to open my file box, I want to smell something uplifting and positive. It makes filing your documents much more fun when it smells good. So you can use some perfume or body mist that, some of that stuff that just doesn't work with your chemistry and you were going to throw out, you can use it to freshen your files. And then also, if that doesn't work, if you would like this option, this is my DIY silica gel freshening packets. So it's silica gel with some laundry fabric softener pellets, and I just put a few in there and shake them around and then drop that into your file box. Your files are going to smell wonderful when you go to file your files. All right, so now let's get started on filing the piles. What I need to do next is to go gather all of our paperwork that we want to file. So go gather, take a bin, box, basket, laundry basket if you have a lot, go and just grab all the paperwork and put it in your basket, because we're going to start to categorize them and file them. Now, here's where the caveat comes in. Some of the documents that we're not going to address today, that will be addressed in other videos, that are components to the framework for the entire filing system, not just the filing folders, those documents need to be, as you start to go through and categorize your documents, I want you to set those aside. These are important documents like your birth certificates, vehicle titles, passport, life insurance documents, your social security card, password booklet, anything that you would keep in your home safe, because we have an important document binder that we create, and we house those documents in that binder that we put in our home safe. The next category of documents are your booklets, manuals, things that you get when you buy anything in a box. Those do not work in file folder systems. Those need an accordion file. So we're going to set those aside. So as you're going through and categorizing your documents, go ahead and set those in a different pile. The third category of documents that we're going to create a different filing device for is your professional or educational paperwork. This is your CV resume. This is your transcripts from your all of your education. This is anything to do with awards, certifications, degrees, evaluations for your profession, anything to do with your training, profession, education. We're going to set those aside. We will create a professional portfolio for those documents. The next category of documents that we're going to set aside for right now, those documents are going to be any document that you might use in the next 30 days. This is claim checks, event tickets, receipts from any kind of shopping that you've done in case you need to return something, medical referrals, prescriptions, anything that you need to take with you, we'll put in a grab and go binder. And that way, when we're running errands, we'll have everything we need to get the prescriptions filled, for the appointment for the doctor with the referral, pick up those claim check ticket items that we had repaired or cleaned, and take with us when we go to an event. Normally we store these documents on the refrigerator or in a kitchen drawer. What happens is they fall down, they get behind or under the refrigerator, and then we can't find them and we get really frustrated. We house these in the grab and go binder. So those are the documents we're going to set aside for right now. All right, so what we're left with are what I call the monthlies, the medical, and the maintenance. So that's going to be your monthly bills, your utilities, your payments, insurance, monthly insurance statements, bank statements, all of those are the monthlies. We're going to create a different file folder for each one of those types of documents. Next, it's going to be maintenance, your maintenance on your vehicle, your maintenance on the items that you own, the maintenance on your home. All of those are going to be in separate file folders. Medical, your dental, your hearing, your vision, all of those will be separate file folders. And then lastly, your tax documents. Now, this is individualized because your life looks a little different than my life. So the file folders, categories that you will need to create, just create what works for you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start to file all of those documents that we have collected. All the documents that you have just collected, you just start going through and creating file folders for each category. So for your car payment, that's one file folder. Your house payment, that's one file folder. Your electric bill, your water bill, your rubbish bill, all of those will be a separate file folder for each, let's just say each account that you have. So you want to go ahead and create a file folder. Now, you can label the top, but on the inside, I suggest writing pertinent information so that you don't have to flip through all the documents to find this information. It's all right here. So if you have to address an issue or have a question, all you have to do is pull out the file folder. You have all the information you need here in order to address concerns, dispute a transaction, or get information. First of all, the company name. So like your insurance company, the phone number, the address where you would send a bill, the account number, password if you feel comfortable putting your password on the file folder. I keep my passwords in my home safe in my important document binder, but this is up to you. And you can also write a point of contact. If there's a particular extension number or agent that you work with, you may want to go ahead and put their name and number there as well. Then we're going to go to filing the piles. Now, a couple of things. This is where the paperclip versus stapler conversation comes in. When you paperclip your items, when you go to file papers, the papers can get snagged on that, and then you're left with this. And that doesn't make your files look neat. It makes it difficult to find the tabs of the files, so then it creates a little bit of chaos in your filing system. So I prefer using a staple instead of a paperclip. Now, when I file all of my papers, I line the headings up and I face them to the left in the filing folder. There's a specific reason for this. So this way, they're all faced to the left of the file folder. The reason is, if I'm going to staple the paper, I'm going to staple it on the left. And then when I put the paper in facing left, it's going to create this nice crisp edge, and it's going to keep my papers aligned in the file folder. That crisp edge is going to nestle right into that file folder crease, and it's going to keep my file folder looking neat. If I put the staple edge to the top right, the papers are going to twist, and then you're going to end up with this. Makes it hard to see the label, and it makes your filing system look messy and uninviting. So if you align your papers with the heading to the left, staple in the left corner, and put that nice crisp edge, nestle that right into the crease of your file folder, it's going to keep your filing system looking neat. I also suggest putting the most recent papers up front, and the more documents that are older go toward the back. That way you can find the most recent payment information up front. Once you have your filing system set up, we're going to do a maintenance. So at the end of the month, during my monthly reset, I take all of the papers that have accumulated for the month, which I house in my grab-and-go binder. I just sit down, take all of the documents out, all of the receipts, all the payment statements, everything, and I file it in my filing folder system. So at the end of the month, it's about 10 minutes to file. Now, if you have an accumulation of paperwork and you need to devote some time to filing the piles, I just set a goal of 10 minutes a day. It's a great opportunity to sit down with your hydration beverage, take a little breath work break, and file the piles. Put on some music, just relax, breathe, and file 10 daily documents. It won't take very long for you to get caught up, usually less than 30 days with just 10 daily documents. That way you don't get stressed out and it doesn't take an enormous amount of time. Also, at the end of every fiscal year, I like to go through my files, pull out last year's documents, put them in my tax box. Remember, we keep our tax records. You don't need to keep them in your monthly maintenance filing folder system. You can take them out, put them with all of the tax documents that you have for that year. It's going to facilitate helping you file the taxes, but also you have everything there in case you encounter an audit. Now you can separate all of your tax years into storage boxes, or you can have one big box where you store all of your tax information. Remember, we store our tax documents for up to 7 years, so I'm not going to deal with them for 7 years in my file folder. I store my tax documents in a bin, so as I put 1 year in, I can take 1 year out. That is all there is to creating a functional and effective filing system. This is going to help you immensely, but please check out those other videos for the important document binder, the grab and go binder, the professional portfolio, and the accordion file for all of those instruction manuals and booklets. Those are going to supplement this filing system, and it's going to create a cohesive filing framework for all of your documents. I am the Organizer Advisor. I hope this was a helpful video for you today. If it was, please subscribe to my channel, follow me on Facebook. Please like this video, share it with someone you know who is struggling with piles of paperwork and needs to file those piles. And lastly, leave me a comment. I love hearing from you. Thanks so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. And until then, my friends, be well.